Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef.
Welcome to
And
Pod
it's a
Chef, the official
broadcast.
Top Chef
It's on
podcast. I'm your
TV.
host, Jamal, and I'm saying my last name, Newman. I don't know why we haven't been doing that. Why are you
I
guys
don't-
trying to...
Reeves
I'm not
doesn't
gonna
do
say
it.
my
last
You
name.
don't want your last name on the
Mm-mm.
thing? You don't want to be connected
Never.
to this at all? Okay.
I like to have a little bit of mystery.
Okay. Co-host with me, first name only, Reeves. Say what's up.
Mhm. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's just me. It's Reeves.
Okay.
And you will know nothing else about me.
And then, now, do you want to introduce... me and Third Mike are on the outs. So do you want to introduce Third Mike, or should I do?
I think it would be nice if you guys could reconcile.
It's
I would
that
like to see
serious?
that.
Okay. Coming in last place, he's the guy with the bits that just don't quit. Please welcome to the show, Brian Jackson.
Hello. For those wondering, my middle name is Adam. Put it out there.
Oh.
Find me.
His
No,
name is
please don't. I don't
Baj.
know.
His name is Baj.
I have good initials.
That is
Yeah,
nice,
they
Bosh.
go well in the back of a motorcycle club jacket.
Mm.
Oh wow, that was seamless. Is that what story time with Brian? Sons of Okay, who's ready for story time with Brian?
Story time
Jackson,
with
baby.
Brian Jackson.
Yes.
There it
There it
is.
is.
Doesn't quite work.
There it is.
So what Jamal wants me to tell you guys is that I am considering getting a motorized bike, or as they've been calling it these days, motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
my plan is
shocking.
My
Right.
plan is to get it and go very slow and be the safest motorcycle boy you've ever seen. I want
That's not going to happen.
an old one from like the 80s, like an old Honda CB. Like they get turned into like cafe racers a lot, is what they do with them now. But like that, like a
Mhm.
Nighthawk or Shadow, I think they're called. I don't know. I'm taking the class next month. It's something I've always wanted to kind of do. And now I live
Why?
in the suburbs. Why?
Yeah, why is a
don't-
motorcycle something you've always wanted to do?
Looks cool. I grew up in a place where people have mopeds.
You
And
never
this
got
is-
it out of your system on the moped?
Nope, I never got a moped. I finally got one. I asked one for so long. Here's a real story time with Brian Cole, baby. Is when I was in high school, my mom told me that if I played football, she would buy me a moped. If I played high school football, she would buy me a moped. And I played high school football, and I did not get a moped from her.
Oh no.
Shout out to Brian's mom pulling the old switcheroo.
Yeah, truly got
But
me
did
with
you-
that one. Tricked me.
Did you enjoy playing football?
I
Yeah, did you have
enjoyed
fun?
playing football. I did not enjoy practicing football.
Why?
Just
'Cause there's
because of the
nothing at stake?
training?
'Cause there's
or-
nothing at stake at practice.
Yeah, you're a game time guy.
I don't. Yeah, practice. Talk about practice. I
Mm.
don't like to run, and we would start every practice with running a mile. Let's really. You want to really dive into it?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Talk about what I talk about with my therapist like every week.
Sure.
There
You
was
talk about your
You
football
talk about
practices.
football
with your
practice
ther-
and
I-
motorcycles?
I really do. Because of this, there was one person,
There we go. It's always
and I'll say their name, Vernon Merritt,
and now
and
we're
that
putting
name
their
sounds
name.
so redneck.
And we're putting their name.
Who
on
was
the podcast.
my buddy Adam, who is now a cop in Ocean City. It was his dad, and he was 1 year younger than me. He coached everything that we did.
Mhm.
He was the little league coach. He was like the basketball coach. He coached high school football. For whatever reason, he always put me on his teams, and he never played me. In Little League, the rules state that a kid has to get at least one at bat
Mhm.
and 2 innings. That's the minimum. And
Yep.
that's what I did in Little League.
Yeah.
These aren't good kids. We didn't like come from a place where like the Little League teams mattered.
Mm-hmm.
They were all garbage. And I just didn't get to play much. And then he also coached basketball. And then when I got to high school, he coached football. And I didn't play much there. And
I
here's
believe in
the
football because I played football. I believe in football you had to play like 14 plays. And then they could take you out for the rest of the game.
I mean, if that was the rule, then that's what I did. But
I mean, that's what I heard because I actually played on the field because I was actually good. But this is what I heard from watching other people like hang their heads low by not getting in the game.
That brings me to my question to you, Brian. And all these sports that you were, given the bare minimum to
Sure.
play in terms of play time, were you any good? at any of
Okay.
them?
Here's my. I'm gonna answer that question.
Should have been an immediate yes.
It's a yes
I'm
or
gonna
no.
no. I just like here. I'm gonna answer that question. Actually, I'm gonna get my good friend Dwayne the Rock Johnson to come in here and answer that question. And his answer is, it doesn't matter. It's
No, it
children's
does.
sports.
It does.
It
matter.
does not matter. No.
Yes, it does.
What should come above? Unless you are in fucking Texas and it's Texas Forever football where
No.
it matters.
Nah.
What should come above doing well is that every kid has fun and learns to play a team sport and gets to have as much access to the sport as possible.
No,
I
this
was
is the
not by any
trenches.
chance the worst person that has ever played those sports, but because you don't get the time to play them, you get like upset and you get you don't do it. You stop trying. So
Man, can you imagine Brian cutting this promo in Last Chance U and becoming the most hated person ever on that show?
Yeah.
no, people would get behind me.
No, they
Yeah.
were.
Oh, on Last Chance U. I was thinking you said Last Chance Kitchen.
That's true.
So
We
it's
would get
interesting.
you there.
Brian has an interesting take. I've never been this kid. I was always playing. I was always the starting 5, always the starting 11.
Truly shouldn't matter. It truly
It
should
actually
not
should,
matter.
because here's why, Brian. You're in the trenches when you're on the field, especially in football. You're on the field, and the kids need a leader. I played quarterback. I know what it's like to lead young.
Did you
kids.
really?
Yeah, I did. I played
Oh, I
quarterback,
didn't
and
know
I'll
that.
tell you something right now.
I've
When
never
you're in the
known
huddle, when you're in
Why
the
is it a
huddle,
secret?
it's not.
Yeah,
nice
why
you
are you
guys don't-
keeping that from us?
That's
Did something happen on the field?
yes.
Uh-oh.
Somewhat. You know when someone lets a dog loose on the field?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard
I'm
of
a
that.
cat. I'm a cat person, and that dog could smell that I was a cat person. And it
So-
beeline straight to me, and it bit me right on my knee. And as I turned to run, I then tore my ACL, and I screeched out in pain, and it just dragged me around the field for a good 5 minutes before anyone could stop the dog because it was just ravenous.
You
And I
should have
stopped
done
playing
a
football.
season. You should have done a season 2 Danny Rojas. You guys get that?
Nope.
No.
Oh, it's Ted
So
Lasso.
that was a moment. I remember when I was being dragged on the field by this stray dog who got on the field. I remember being like, why couldn't I be one of the kids who suck? I'd be on the bench right now.
Mm-hmm.
Safe.
That's tough. And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to tell the rest of your story, but what happened during the game and that dog after you couldn't play quarterback anymore and the dog was on the field?
Well, let's just say it didn't end well for the dog.
Oh, really? Oh,
Just almost immediately. It didn't end well for the dog.
Oh, he got busted for
Well, you know how people
enhanced drugs.
you know how people start races sometime with a pistol?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of that.
Well, imagine if you ended a race with a pistol and the dog is the race.
I tell you what, any race that I'm in is going to end with a pistol. Wait,
Anyway, so Brian,
I
what
know
I
what
gotta
you
say
mean.
is, as someone who actually played on the field and started and cared about the sport they were playing, because that's another thing that Brian's not telling everyone. He never actually cared about any of these sports.
you're right. I don't care, and
Exactly.
that's why I talk about it with
That's-
my therapist
Exactly.
at 36.
Brian, I knew
I
this.
didn't
I
care at
knew
all. I
I
didn't
knew
care at
you
all.
didn't care at all because this is the same mentality that kids like me who did care had to deal with. Is a guy like you who didn't really care, but then would complain about not playing a bunch. But you didn't care. You just said you didn't even care in practice. You didn't care. So why do you need to play all game when there's a better player who does care, who should take your place?
Because I'm a kid
Oh,
and it
please.
doesn't matter.
See but what does that teach you? Does that teach you that if you don't care about something, you should get it anyways?
Yeah.
Okay.
What position did you play, Brian?
The line. That's where they put every fat kid. The line. That's not. And also, here we go.
No, that's where they put the
That's-
strong kids. What
that's
are you
not-
talking about?
That my
Yeah, you
school
gotta be
didn't have
strong.
strong kids.
You were
I am
strong. You
from-
played the line.
I am from the
Everyone
world's
was so
smallest
weak.
town.
You guys
We
didn't have no milk.
No,
There was no
there was
milk
no
in the
milk.
town?
It didn't come to the island. It got they tried to bring the milk to the island, but stagecoach robbers
Mhm.
always got it every
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, you played Red Dead Redemption 2 was like that, but with milk every time. They'd even
All
try
right,
doing it at
now.
night.
Take it easy. Give me this money.
They would, either you hand over the milk.
You gonna hand over the milk, or you gonna end the night with the rest of the grave robbers. Speaking of, did anyone get in contact with Tom this week? I got a voicemail.
You got a voicemail.
I got a voicemail from Tom Colicchio.
What did he say?
Verbatim or like the gist of what he said?
The gist would probably be nice.
The gist was he called me and he was like, "What up, blood?"
Okay.
And I was
Racist.
like, "Okay." Yeah, because I'm a Crip, and you know that. And he was like, "Hey, really enjoying what you're doing. Like your take on hosting. Question: when are you gonna have another?" And this is how he put it, not how I put it. A person who, if they looked in the mirror, they'd look kind of like you on the show. And I was like, what? I was thinking to myself, I was like, what is he talking about? And I realized he wants more black people on the show.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, he hangs out with a lot of black people. We're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to say that we're not as cool as we could be. I don't know. But then after that, he said, also, I had grits this week.
He just told you that
Yeah, he just randomly,
black people.
He randomly said, I had grits this week. I don't know why I've been holding out so long. I put some cheese and hot sauce on them. They're pretty dope. They're pretty tight.
Wow.
Um,
Tom.
And then at the end of it, he said, are you a fan of the Michael Jordan 6-ring sneaker line? I think they got some pretty dope colors. You're gonna buy one? And I was just like, why is he telling me all this stuff?
Hmm.
And
He's trying to connect with you. I think
he's super trying to connect. And I was like, why not just save this for an actual phone call?
Could you hear what
Mhm.
was like going on in the background? Because I know he likes to use the phone when he's out running errands.
Yeah, in the
Yes.
background, it sounded like he was in a barber shop.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Like a
that.
barbershop,
I believe.
Like a barbershop, not like
Yeah.
like actual, like where I go cut my hair. Like that's what it sounded like. Because people were being loud in the background. There's like, you could keep hearing clicking sounds and then buzzing sounds, like clippers being turned on and turned off.
Mhm.
And I was like, why would he be at a black barbershop? He's got no hair.
Yeah.
And
You'd think
then
he could do that himself, but I
Yeah.
guess.
And then he said, "Oh, I'm up next. I gotta go." Like that's how he hung up on me. He said, "Oh shit, yo, I'm up next. I'll hit you later." And then he sent me a picture of him like an hour and a half later with his lineup.
With the fresh cut.
Yeah, with a fresh lineup. And all it was just like a corner on each side of hair that had kind of been sprayed on to make it look like he had a hairline.
Okay.
And that's it. And that's it.
So he just basically had a traced outline.
He had a
to
traced
where
outline.
Hair should
Yeah.
be. Okay.
He did like the unfilled in Carlos Boozer, just like
Yeah.
just the outline.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he
that
sent it
sounds
to
like
me.
him.
And he sent it to me. He said, and it spelled out "ooh."
Because he feels like he's looking good.
Yeah,
Right.
He said, "Ooh, I'm gonna get him with this one."
Look good, feel good.
And he didn't say that. He just said, "Ooh, I'm gonna get him with this one."
Okay. Yeah. He does like to do that. He's one of those people I feel like that, like, if he has just a couple of minutes where
Mhm.
he's not doing some kind of activity, that's when he needs to like call someone. So on his
Yeah.
way to things, when he's waiting for things, he's like
Mhm.
gotta constantly have something going on. So he's
Yep.
like, yeah, I'm waiting in the grocery line, just wanted to see what's going on. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't need to call me. We're not gonna get anything from this conversation. You don't need to call me now.
So anyone else get in contact with Tom this week? I thought he was gonna leave a voicemail about some script or something, but
Well, are you gonna take him up on what he said?
oh
Like,
yeah,
he
I
wants
think
more
I'm
people of
gonna
color.
I'm gonna try and get some more people of color on the show.
That's good.
Maybe a woman too.
That's nice. Yes. Well, I think we probably need to stay consistent with our no guest thing
Yeah.
this season. Well, I don't know if you guys have someone. I don't have any more people that I know in my
I
life.
have no one. I don't know anyone else.
Okay.
No, I've cut off all
anyone.
communication with anyone else other than you two.
Okay. Well, fans, well, you guys got to hook us up with some guests because we don't know anyone else in the world. So,
If you're
Oh.
a fan of the show and you want to come on the show, send a message to at Podchef Podcast.
yeah. I did get an email from Tom.
Thank you.
And then in the email, he just said, like, he's been doing a lot of art lately.
Nice.
He's like, I'm done with scripts. I'm just doing a lot of art. And then he
Well,
sent
script
me.
is kind of art.
It is. It's a type of art, right? It's
Yeah.
creative writing. Yeah. So, and it's
The
storytelling.
movie me
it's
and
all
Brian
that.
did is work of art.
So he's been getting into, I think, like more like drawing and painting. And so he sent me a self-drawing, and it's like, do you guys know Super Saiyans
Mm-hmm.
I
from
don't.
Dragon Ball Z?
I do.
So, okay, Ryan, and I don't really fully understand it, but I think it's like if in Dragon Ball Z, if someone like really gets psyched, their hair
Well-
turns blonde.
Well, it's a race of warrior. It's a warrior race from the planet Saiyan, and when they get angry, their anger can be triggered to get them superpowered. And if you get strong enough, you become a Super Saiyan. And Super Saiyan turns their hair blonde. And then,
Okay.
of course, there's other iterations. But if we're just talking about Super Saiyans, we'll just leave it there.
There you go. So it's like a race thing.
Yeah, you got to
Um,
catch them all.
Mm.
It's... Anyway, he drew a picture of himself as a Super Saiyan. So like he's got like really blonde hair, and he's like
Nice.
he's got like a lot of like fire behind him. But it's
wow.
like, he's cooking on the grill or something like that. So that's where
That's
like the
pretty cool.
fires come from. Yeah. But he also did attach a script. You guys want to hear the script?
Of course.
Yeah.
He did say, he's like, here's one from the old script. So I
It's
guess
the
it's
old
like,
script now.
it's the old one
Oh.
because he wrote all these other iterations. So he said he said, I'll just throw you a bone here. Here's a page from here's a scene from the old script. So this
Thank
one
you,
is from
Tom.
page 450, which
What?
seems, I mean, this movie seems so long.
It's
I don't
gonna
even
have
think
to
we've
be
gotten
like
this far.
multiple Lord of the Rings movies.
Mm-hmm.
At this
I think
point,
so.
we're at Return of the King. This is his Return of the King.
Yeah, which already is a long movie.
This
And
is
I think-
his
yeah.
Deer Hunter, I think.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, another
It's a
very long
It's
movie.
a long movie for everyone who doesn't get that reference.
It's very good. You guys should watch it. It's good. Christopher Walken's great in it. So here we go. Page 450. Wow. Interior. A dark abandoned kitchen somewhere in LA. Tom is flush up against a wall, a sawed-off shotgun in one hand and 3 throwing stars in the other.
Holy crap.
We hear a beeping in the distance.
Beep, 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 beep.
A dozen Quizen bots are searching all around the kitchen with their blasters out.
Oh, wow.
Tom takes a deep breath in. Tom, go. Tom jumps from behind the wall. The action slowly transitions into animation.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
He starts to shoot and throws the stars that land perfectly in the heads of 3 searching bots. The remaining bots whip around and begin to fire. Tom jumps into an oven for cover. The bots move over to the oven and bend down to look in. Tom kicks the door open and destroys 2 more bots. He dive rolls out. The bots begin to shoot at him again. He grabs 2 cast iron skillets to deflect the blast. He backflips over a table and grabs a pizza tray. He throws it like a frisbee and it slices the heads off all but 1 bot. Tom runs towards the last bot as it's shooting at him. Tom jumps in the air and kicks his blaster arm off. The bot falls to the ground. Tom, I got 2 words for you. Last chance kitchen. robot. That's more than before he can finish speaking. Tom does the DX crotch chop and then blows the robot's head off. Tom then walks over to a walk-in freezer and shoots the padlock off the door. He goes in and reaches his hand out to a mysterious person on the floor. Tom.
Someone's in the freezer?
Someone is in the freezer, a mysterious
Safe place.
person.
Safe.
Mm-hmm. Tom, come with me if you want to cook. We cut to the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City.
Oh, the Met.
Mm-hmm.
The Met Gala.
The Met Gala. We are in the
Yes.
middle of a performance of Carmen to a packed house of stuffy Richie Rich types.
Wait. How does Carmen go?
Carmen is...
No, that's
No?
like a pizza commercial.
No. That's not
Yeah, that's a pizza pie commercial.
You're doing the Pizza Hut commercial.
Yeah.
That's unbreakable.
But Jamal, if you want to find a clip from Carmen and send it to Brian, you can put it underneath this. It's a nice little underscore. We can do that.
He just scratched his head while he made that sound.
Okay. So we're in the middle of a performance of Carmen to a packed house of stuffy Richie Rich types. We pan from the stage up to the opera box. Padma is seated there, surrounded by Secret Service agents. She is enjoying the opera and has a smug look on her face.
She would.
We see some rumbling behind the security guards.
Oh.
A very nerdy stooge quickly walks over to Padma. He leans in and whispers something in Padma's ear. Her facial expression slowly changes from a slight smile to a disappointed scowl.
Uh-oh.
Cut to an actor on stage singing a high note at the end of the song. The audience applauds. Padma stays motionless. And that's the scene.
Oh boy. I don't know about you guys, but I know we're 400 pages in, 470 pages in, whatever.
That was 450,
Padma's
but I'm sure it's 470 somewhere around there.
Okay. Padma's character, every time referenced or is in the actual movie, is like Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Like the presence is just overwhelming.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we all remember when Darth Vader went and saw a rendition of Carmen.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was
Just
all
like it.
stormtroopers performing it
Mm-hmm.
with their helmets on.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was hard to tell if they liked it or not because, everyone's got their helmets on. We can barely hear anyone singing, but yeah.
Then he choked out that guy who was doing that pizza commercial rendition.
Yeah, they were doing it bad, so he just did like
yeah.
the.
He was, he was just like,
My son. Yeah. And he was like, I find your lack of falsetto
Most
disturbing.
yeah.
Wait, so who was the figure that he lifted up out of the walk-in freezer? We don't know.
we
we
gotta
don't know.
finish the movie to find out.
The Christopher Walken freezer. Hey, has SNL done that? Christopher Walken freezer?
Christopher
Oh my God!
Walken freezer.
Wait, no, that's Travolta.
I don't know.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty close.
Oh my
The
god.
freezer. Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah. They haven't done that, but I think we should write it and pitch it. I think we're in SNL script season. So
Mhm.
we're all
Maybe
writing
Tom
our
will write-
packets.
Maybe Tom will write a packet for SNL.
Mm-hmm. He should. I think he knows Colin Jokes or whatever his name is. And he could send it to him directly.
That's how you get on the show. You can be friends with Colin Jokes.
Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
That's right. We're all
Mhm.
broken up about that.
This is
Chefs-
such a bummer of an
chefs-
episode.
Chefs, I prepared for you. Let's move on. This is a segment that Third Mike came up with, and we keep doing every week, called Chefs I Prepare for You.
The
where
best thing we do on the
we
podcast.
talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and present it to you as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. I'll go first. Baked rotisserie chicken thighs, air fryer broccoli, and sauteed sweet potatoes. Yes, it was very boring. Like, we can move on.
Chefs, I prepared for you buttermilk brine roast chicken with a little bit of roasted asparagus to go along with it. Marinate that chicken in buttermilk for 2 days. Nice
2
and juicy.
days.
2
Hold on a second.
days, baby.
That's almost as long Jesus was in the cave.
Did you say
Mhm.
Brian roast chicken?
Not on purpose.
Oh, okay.
If he
It just-
did, then he roasted the chicken, which is the way that I do it, which is, of
Mhm.
course, go to the
Raw.
store.
Oh.
2 days is so long. I bet that chicken tasted like milk.
It tasted
No.
delicious.
I bet
Very,
you it
very
melted
juicy.
in your mouth like milk.
It was wonderful.
What do you do, Thighs?
No, I do a whole chicken, baby.
He does the whole thing, the whole
You
bird.
break it down?
No, I mean I break it down after I cook it. Yeah.
Okay, and
Wait.
now explain this to Brian. He doesn't know how you were able to cook a whole
Brian?
chicken. Go ahead.
Brian looks so confused. So it's a whole chicken, right?
Yeah.
You get the whole chicken. I tie it, I put it in, I cook it. It's done. It's roasted. I take it out, I let it sit for like 5 minutes, and then I break it down. I cut it and break it down, and then I eat it, the whole thing by myself.
This is after you put an entire chicken in a bowl full of buttermilk.
Yeah, so I put it in a Ziploc bag,
Yep.
and then I
Okay.
put it in my fridge, and
How
it
big are
sits
your
there.
Ziploc bags? It's gotta be
You
a
can
huge
get
Ziploc
big
bag.
ones. Oh, it's
you can get a
so
huge
big.
one.
It's so big. It's like a trash bag, man.
Yeah,
You
It's
can
a
get them
trash bag.
custom made at Costco.
Jenny's like, "What's this trash bag in the fridge?" You're like,
Yeah,
"It's
I'm
dinner
like-
in 2 days."
It's what's for
Just
dinner.
you wait. She picks it up. A bunch of buttermilk comes out.
Wait, no, stop.
I'm using the extra for pancakes.
No, you.
Oh,
so
God.
Buttermilk chicken pancake. What?
you can get chickens that are maybe like 3 to 5 pounds, and they fit pretty well in those like big Ziploc bags. If you get anything over 5 pounds, it's gonna be hard to get it in there.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Solid work.
Yep,
Solid work, solid effort.
it's my specialty.
Chefs, last night I prepared for you dinner at a restaurant called Casa di Paco in Newark, New Jersey. There, it's a tapas place, which, if you are wondering what that means in English, it means that it sort of sounds like you're saying topless. Um, I got some garlic shrimp, and I got a little chicken empanadas, and we got some potatoes bravas, and I had someone's tried something that they had, a little tuna tartare thing on a little piece of bread,
Wait a minute.
and I had
you
an
tried-
award-winning drink
Hold on. You tried someone else's food?
because it's tapas. Yeah, like you're supposed to do. I again, Jamal doesn't know what tapas is. It's because he did think that it was topless, and when he ordered one thing at a topless place, and he was like, "No, it's fine. I'm waiting for the rest of my food," and you're like, "You're not getting more." We've talked about this.
I got spoken to by so many of the women who worked at that place because they were like, "This is a tapas place."
Yeah, then you kept being like,
Tapas.
I know. Take it
Yeah.
off."
I get it. You don't have to
Take it
explain
off.
it to me. Why do you think there's a line outside?
Why do you keep saying it? I heard you. Take it off.
Look at these prices. It better be topless.
And then he goes to a strip club and he's like, "Where are the little plates?" This
Well, I
episode's
like you
weird,
guys are
man.
getting along now.
This episode's weird, man.
It's nice. I mean, normally I would shut down that kind of talk, but it's just very nice to hear you guys get along. And it's sounds like you had a nice dinner. Did you you have one set of food, or did you have seconds?
Just did a little. Didn't do too much. Should have done more, and that's why then I had second dinner at midnight when I had McDonald's.
That rules.
Okay, so you had a second helping. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
That's a pretty good one.
And we're back, season 4, episode 11 of Pod Chef, but season 3, episode 11 of Top Chef. This is where it's called Second Helping. This is where you press play if you're watching along.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. They're doing it over. Second Helping. They're doing Restaurant Wars over again because they couldn't get it right the first time. Okay. Quickfire challenge is basically making the teams do mise en place.
This is fun.
Yeah,
They
this is
should do
fun.
this
They
more
do
often.
this. They try and do it a lot. I feel like I don't know if they did it this year or not. I can't remember, but they've done it a lot. I really like this challenge because you do see how well people like their knife skills and stuff. There was one year where someone, I don't remember who it was, if it was like a couple years ago or whatever, where it was like a qualifying thing to get onto the show.
Yep.
and there was a guy that like didn't know how to like break down a chicken or something that he should have known if you're a chef, especially if you want to be on a chef competition show. And Tom got so angry he kicked his ass off the show.
Yeah, it's like season 6.
Yes, that's probably right. Anyway, that didn't happen this episode. They just did it, and it was fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun to watch. This is what we want to see. Me.
Oyster.
When I say we, I mean me.
You, the audience. Oyster
Poppin'
shucking.
oysters. Yeah, poppin' oysters.
If you
Cutting
guys had to do
onions.
this challenge, which one would you volunteer to take?
Yeah,
Well,
so
let's look at it with the three of us here. We each have to pick one of the things. So depending on who gets what, we have to do the other one.
What was the last one?
It was separate eggs and then
Separate
eggs.
whisk
Okay.
the white yolk until it's basically like what's it called? I forgot. But
Stiff peaks. I will
you
not
chose-
do. I will not do the chicken.
You whisk it until it's basically like a meringue, then you can turn it
Yeah.
upside down and it can't fall out for 5 seconds.
Well, I think Brian should do the oysters, right? That would probably be
I
the
could
thing
do
you would be
those.
best at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like to shuck.
Hey man, been
And you
doing it
liked
since
it.
I was 14.
He likes the jive too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the trick with oysters, you go through the back. You go through the back of it. You don't go through the front.
Ah.
Yeah,
And you
that's
know
the
how to do
trick.
the thing with the membrane and everything?
You just gotta like cut it off the shell. Like they're like,
Yeah.
you gotta cut the muscle loose. I you cut it off the shell because it's got a little attachy part to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do the oysters. Easy.
Reeves. That leaves.
So,
I assume Reeves, because of your worldly heritage, you either want to dice the onions or you want to break down the bird. You don't want to do the whisking.
I would feel I feel confident that I could do the only one that I don't think I could do is the oyster thing because I don't have any experience with that. I think I probably would do the
Same.
best with the chicken, and then maybe what do you think you would be the best at? out of
I
those
think I
three?
can fly through the onions. I don't understand people
Okay.
who cut onions and then they're like crying. Those, let me tell you something. Onions in my house, they are diced and thrown in the pan before one even tear can come down my face. They're done. They're dispatched. They're taken
I
care
wear
of.
goggles. I
Mm.
wear goggles when I cut mine,
Reeves,
but
I'm
I do
telling you.
cut them
Do you really?
fast. But yes, I do have to wear
Reeves.
goggles.
Reeves, when
You
I'm
have
cutting
kitchen
onions,
goggles?
Mm.
you want to know when I start crying? When they're cooking, because I'm like, God, that was so fast. Now they're sweating already in the pan. God,
Just
I'm
love
so
your
great.
work.
I've got such great knife work.
Now, okay, so I do the chicken, you do the onion. Who out of the
I'll-
three of us, who would be the best at the?
I'll come back around and do the whisking. I don't care. I handle
Whisking.
eggs.
Okay,
Okay. It's all forearm with the whisking.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Okay, now we're at odds again.
We're at the out. We're on the outs again.
We're having
You guys
so
wanna
much
talk
fun
about
earlier, and now
Tapas.
we are mad at each other.
It's all forearm. Yeah, I thought I was gonna get it with my elbow.
So this was a lot of fun. Brian Malarkey is great at shucking oysters. Sarah is so good at cutting onions.
Yeah,
You mean
she
Casey?
fucking kills it.
Oh, Sarah.
No,
okay,
Casey sucked at cutting onions.
Casey sucked.
did it nice. She was taking her time.
Uh huh.
and
She
got
wanted to make
her
it presentable.
They're onions.
Sarah's
And-
Sarah's dispatching those onions like they're like invaders.
And Hung is destroying a chicken so quickly
Yeah.
and so manically that Tom is amused by it.
Tom
makes
He's
his
like
face.
laughing. Yeah,
Tom
he's
is
shaking
like,
his head.
he's like, "Well, okay, wow, don't let this guy get around chickens.
Yeah, he's gonna
He's a
massacre them.
monster.
I gotta say, and I'm sorry that I'm bringing this up,
Don't be sorry.
but it almost seems like he was putting on a show to maybe threaten someone with his knife, like letting it be known that Hung is good with a knife. Maybe someone watching at home, maybe his home, just in a message, just to be like,
All the things
"Hey,
that you want to cut this episode, you want to put this in? You want to keep doing this?
monkey, yeah, I want to talk about
Okay.
monkeys more.
Okay.
Just put it, really just showing the monkey
What's
what he can do. Yeah,
Yeah. Listen, I'm the man of this house. Okay,
yep.
I pay the mortgage. Okay, you're just a monkey. You just live here. Okay. No matter how much you boss me and push me around and have me scared, it's to the point where I don't want to leave my room in the morning. I show you with how I cut up a chicken. Yeah, I think you're right, Brian.
Okay,
I think
good.
that was in his mind.
All right,
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Just
It
so
truly-
everyone who's listening can understand something, there's going to be a lot of stuff cut out of this episode, but this is going to be kept in.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
all the
This is funny.
conversations we had that were maybe like real conversations between three pals, that stuff probably be cut. But this monkey bit is going to stay in. It was necessary.
Yeah, it was pretty good, I thought.
So
So the
another
gar-
hung thing. Sorry, another hung. This isn't about a monkey though. It's the whole door thing with Hung, where he doesn't like to hold the door.
Yeah.
He does kind of do it again, but it's not like him not holding the door. It's a door is closing and he rushes by and doesn't
kicks it.
touch it. Yeah, he kicks it. That's
Oh.
right. He
Yeah.
kicks it. And it's like there's something there, right?
There's
Where he doesn't
something
want to
there,
touch a door.
Maybe, yeah. It seems like what you do, like on the New York subway. Like if you're opening the door to go to the NJ trains, like I do, you push the door, hope the person in front of you pushes it up. You go, and just kind of get in there. I don't want to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that's what people did. All right.
You don't want to. Yeah, you want to touch things in New York as little as little as you can.
Gotcha. So the garage team wins, and the superstar squad can't believe they lost. Although that's like an omen. If you're watching Casey, Dice Onions, you're like, this is not a good omen.
This whole episode was as like clear who was going home as possible.
Yeah.
The first part is like, we all love Trey. Trey is so good. We
Trey.
love Trey's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we finally found out who the guy was who said that he was. Now I'm going to say the word again. Who said that he was a monkey in the last episode? And it was Christopher Chacon, who's an interior designer. Let's listen.
He's Madonna's brother.
Can I play the clip, please? Jesus.
I guess karma's a bitch because the designer is the asshole from the night before, Chris.
The meat wasn't cooked properly, and if that's a vegetable medley, I'm a monkey.
He is definitely one of the most annoying people I've ever met in my life. Him being Madonna's brother really doesn't save him.
And I didn't catch that the first time, so I guess he's Madonna's brother. Good for you. Both teams get advice
Madonna's
from Chris.
brother's a monkey. Monk Donna.
I can see how you would think that. The way that they kind of just threw that in there, you didn't know. They just kind of, you would think that they would like introduce him as Madonna's brother.
talk
But
about
it's
a
just
little
like Dale
more.
just Dale just throws it in there.
Like they didn't even announce it. Yeah, he didn't say it. Like I thought he would be like what Madonna likes. Like he'd reference her.
Yeah.
Clearly doesn't want to be associated with her. He probably got a great leg up in life being Madonna's brother.
Well,
But
yeah.
wants to make his own path in the world.
Yeah.
And his path is being a huge asshole. And then just saying things like, let's just make it white. Like, let's just make the tablecloths white.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for all your help.
White, modern, like shitty 2000s modern. I think they had kind of like plastic, like glass looking chairs. Like it
Yeah.
looked really cheap to me. But listen, I'm not Madonna's brother. I don't know
No,
that
you're
kind of
not.
stuff. So
Never will be.
I guess
They
it
also
was
got
better.
they got a sommelier who we all knew it was going to be Bryan Cranston, right? Like, there's no way they don't set up by saying like a sommelier without it gonna be Bryan Cranston. You guys remember that?
Hung and I were going to the wine store with the anticipation of meeting our sommelier. Our strategy is let's just throw ourselves in his hands and see what happens.
What's up? How you doing?
Hey chefs, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
To our surprise, sommelier is Steve from season 1.
Start off with a Dewazakura sake. It'll be a nice contrast to the earthy flavors of the rabbit. Style of, say, a super Tuscan, but it's not from Tuscany. Something a little non-traditional. You know, you don't see Pinots from Germany ever.
He may come off as arrogant, but he knows his stuff.
It's true. You don't see very many Pinots from Germany ever.
Mm-hmm.
I've never
only-
seen one.
Yeah. So
I haven't either, and I don't need to be Bryan Cranston to tell you that. Okay.
Yeah, and I've looked.
So he knows what he's talking about. But on to talking about what the place looked like. You're not the only person who didn't like the new change of scenery, because Dale was not happy that he got his whole design shaken up.
Our new space looks great. It's kind of like Valentine's Day threw up all over it, but it's definitely modern, much more sleek, more approachable. It definitely has an edgy feel to it.
Yeah, the ultimate compliment for your place is to say blank threw up all over it is a real rave review. Dale definitely doesn't like this guy.
Nope.
As he
Doesn't agree
shouldn't.
with his choice.
Who would
Yeah.
like this guy?
He does suck. That guy.
This guy's awful.
Madonna's brother is a real kind of, he's a dick.
But you gotta
Um,
understand, back then his sister was huge.
I don't.
And so,
At
like,
this point,
This
I-
little rink-a-dink TV show. This
this
think she was
might have been
doing-
like when she was wearing the cowboy hat.
I think this is like spoken word album Madonna at this
wow.
point. Yeah.
Are we at like Guy Ritchie Madonna?
I think maybe you're right. What's your favorite era of Madonna, guys?
Ooh, gosh, so many come to mind when I'm asked
Mhm.
that question every.
mine
You
is
get around with the boys, and it's like, boys, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Favorite era, Madonna, of course.
Yes. Yes.
Mine is the Madonna and Britney collaboration era.
When they
Okay.
kissed,
Early 2000s.
When
they kissed at the
collaborated.
VMAs,
When
which
they-
still not a better VMA kiss than Spider-Man kissing Mary Jane. That's always number one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Madonna era in her Guy Ritchie movie that they do, she does this horrible rendition of I Want to Give You Candy, that like candy song, and Carrie and I sing it to this day. Like, we saw it once at the end of like, TNT showing random movie, and she's just like, I want to give you candy, and it's so bad. And that's my favorite era of Madonna because it's given me such good memories.
Wow. And mine is Ray of Light. That album's great.
Oh,
So Trey is working out at
Yes.
the penthouse, and he's on the porch, and then out comes Team Garage on the balcony to start strategizing. And Trey's like, "Well, maybe now it's time for my workout to go a little long."
Yeah.
And he's behind enemy lines, spying on Team Garage, and then he goes back in and immediately rats them out.
Yeah. Which wouldn't they eventually figure out kind of what they were doing anyway?
They
And all they did was be like, "Wow, that's a real heavy lineup. We're,
yeah, they did
we're gonna do
nothing.
great."
Yeah.
They made it seem like he was going to go back and be like, we need to change everything. No, he
Yeah,
just
no.
told them.
They're basically like, "Yeah, we're so much better than them. Don't
I
worry
bet
about
you
it."
guys $20, they would have told them if they would have asked.
Yeah.
And then like, what do you guys have? And they'd be like, this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If he
and
if
they're
he
like-
just stopped his workout and walked over and said, "What do you guys plan on making?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is what we're working on.
Yeah. And they'd be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm
What
not
are
going
you
to tell
doing?
you that.
We're not telling you. You
Why would I
idiot. It's
tell you?
competition, you moron."
I'm never telling you what
And
I
then
do
you
ever."
Stupid
Knock their notebooks out of their hands.
Yeah. You'll never know, you
Nerd.
nerds.
nerd.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Um,
So their team completely redoes a lot of their menu. They also
Mhm.
changed the name to what was it? Cot.
I'm like,
Yes.
what, you sleeping on a beach? What Madonna might have laid in the movie that she was in with her husband, Guy Ritchie?
How's
Mhm.
it actually
Evita?
pronounced? Isn't it?
Okay. And we have to keep this in because
Mm-hmm.
the problem here is he says the number for 4 in French, which I
Mhm.
thought was quat, but I might be saying it wrong. Now he calls Madonna's brother to let him know they're making the change. Madonna's brother tells him no one speaks French. No one would know what the hell you're talking about.
And he said it's an ugly sounding word.
And it sounds bad. Yes, it's an ugly sounding word.
And
They
Dale
do it
finally
anyway.
takes his power back.
Yes.
Doing it anyway.
He said, "We're doing it anyway. We're doing it live. Fuck it. We're doing it." And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. Everyone would understand it. But I guess we're kind of proving that maybe we wouldn't even know.
Because it's spelled like quarter spelled wrong, is what it looks like. It's like Quaatre or something like that.
Yes.
I would pronounce it like this: un, deux, trois, quatre.
Cat. Cat.
Cat.
Yeah,
Cat.
that's how you say it.
Pat McCann
Get.
does it right. She's like cat
Yeah.
when she says it,
Yeah.
but Dale says cot.
Well,
Cat.
you know, Dale also put black tablecloths all over the place in the restaurant. So
And vanilla candles everywhere.
floral scented candles everywhere. So guess what, guys? Jeffrey Zakarian is a guest judge, and so is Ted Allen. And we know why Ted Allen's there because Bourdain is still scared of Howie.
He's running. He's scared.
They probably said, we need a guest judge. Hey, Ted, can you call up Anthony? Oh, he's not going to come back. Howie's still here.
Until Howie goes home, Bourdain will not walk through that door.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Mark my words. When Howie leaves, Bourdain will be back.
First day, Bourdain's like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm in the area. I thought Howie went home. What? I wasn't scared of him at all."
Yeah, I liked him a lot. I'd love to hang out with them. It's a shame he's not here.
Oh, he's just over there? No, I don't need to go over there. I'm over here now.
I'm
not
over
good.
here now.
I actually have to leave now. I gotta go travel the world. Well,
You know
other
who
people
should've
showed
left?
up. Go
You know
ahead.
who should have left? Dale. He should have went home. Dale should have went home. Hold on. Dale should have went home and changed his clothes and looked presentable at their new reopening because not everyone liked the way he was dressed as the host.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dale's wearing a short sleeve shirt and jeans.
Inappropriate.
Now, it looks like he's working at Denny's.
Oh, so Dale looks like he's working at a Michelin-starred restaurant? I bet a lot of people didn't know this, that Denny's is a Michelin-starred restaurant.
It is.
Yeah. How do you think you can make something called the Grand Slam and get away with it for this many years? Because you nail it every single time. That's why. You didn't know that, did you? That Denny's has a Michelin star.
It's got 3 actually. 1 for every type of burger they have there.
Yeah. So when you say someone looks like they're working at Denny's, you're literally saying someone who, oh, wow, this guy looks like he's working at a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
Also,
So thank you.
Love the punching down. Really good.
Yeah.
I know.
Real solid.
classy. Yeah.
Of the time on Top Chef, when Top Chef used to be like, chickens for poor people, you look like you're working at Denny's, just like real asshole shit. Ted Allen leans to that guy and he's like, Dale's wearing jeans and short sleeves. And the other guy goes, inappropriate.
Yeah. That's inappropriate. He should be, and really, he should go home and change.
They cut out Tom saying in the background, what's he going to do? Serve us fucking chicken now?
Yeah. And he did
Well,
like
Tom
one
also
of
made
those,
him put his hands to the side of his like body and make
Yeah.
sure that his jeans are lower than his fingers. And they're like, all right, they are.
Mhm. So good. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm
Fully-
checking again in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
And
The old-
Brian had his sleeves rolled up on a button-up in jeans. He didn't look any better. And also, we didn't find out if Brian sweat any less. They didn't give us the update.
That's
Wait.
exactly. They talk so much about his sweating in the last episode.
because he got
and
right
then-
guard.
Yeah. Well, that's probably, and I
He
think they
picked
maybe
up some
cut
right
out the
guard.
clip of him. He
Being
was
like-
kind of like,
Yeah.
Showing
yeah.
it
Well,
to-
he's showing. He kind of like put his armpit right in Padma's face. He was like, "Smell."
What does it
Look,
smell like
no-
now? Exactly. I'm
Yeah,
protected.
he's
so
just-
I
yeah,
got
she
you.
says fresh sport. And he's like, yeah, fresh sport, right
Yeah.
guard.
right guard.
Yeah.
He put it on his face, too, because that's what was sweating the most, his face.
Not the left guard,
Yeah.
the right guard.
All
I
over his
cannot
face.
believe they didn't give us an update on
These
the
are the
sweating.
positions Brian played.
It's ridiculous.
Right guard, left guard, right tackle, left tackle.
I played right bench.
Hell yeah.
So Howie's
Um,
mad. Oh, hold on. Let's talk about the old cast members who showed up and Hung doesn't even
There we
know
go.
their names. Who showed up? Sarah and
Sarah, Joey.
who? And Joey.
Sarah and
and
Joey.
they're in the back. Dale's like, "Hey, Hung, Sarah and Joey out there." He's like, "Who's Sarah and Joey?"
Yeah.
They
He says
literally-
that.
Joey's been gone for 1 week or 2 weeks.
I mean, not very long at all. Either
He's
one
like,
of them. And he
"Who's
lived
Sarah
with these
and
people
Joey?"
for at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then he very pleasantly explained the other competitors that used to be on this show. And then
They're-
Hung goes, "Oh, okay, cool."
Okay, cool. he
Keeps
did not care
frantically
at
going
all.
back to his job. Does not care.
I think they were the last two eliminated too, right? Sarah and Joey.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, Sarah and Joey were the last two eliminated, so he definitely knows who they are. So that's very funny.
Yeah.
Very Hung thing to do. I don't say so myself. But Howie is in the back and he's mad because remember before the first time they did this, he was executive chef and his leadership style is one of just trust me, believe me, you don't need to,
You don't
don't
gotta
need
like
to-
me, you just gotta
you don't have to
respect me.
like me, but you just got to know that I'm going to lead us to the promised land, which he didn't.
Beat
and
me if
now-
you can. Survive
Yeah.
if I let you.
But now Sarah is executive chef, and boy, does Howie hate taking orders. He hates them. He wants to give the orders. He's not a very good team player.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Sarah was being direct, which I guess you have to do.
Yeah.
And he was not having it.
No.
But I mean, she was right. Like, they liked the lamb when he re-put it out there. I'm not sure what they were doing when Sarah was giving hung direction, and he was like, "Oh, it's really something," and she was like, "Make it crispy, make it crispy." We don't know what they were talking about, and it never came up. They didn't mention
I don't know
what was crispy or not.
But she did say she wanted it crispy, so make it
Yeah.
crispy.
He was like, "Do you want it crispy, or does Howie want it crispy?" And she was like, "Do it again, make it crispy. I want it.
I
crispy.
want it crispy." And I was like, "Yeah."
That's how I order fucking chicken tenders. They're like, "You want
Do it
grilled?
again.
You want grilled or chicken?" I'm like, "I want it crispy. Do it again."
You think I'm paying you to do grilled chicken tenders? I can go home and do that shit.
Yeah, that shit. in my
Crispy,
sleep.
baby.
Yeah. And when I order my dry cleaning and they say, "Do you want it steamed?" I say, "I want it crispy."
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And when I'm in a nice white suit and I'm at a fancy British party and I order a martini, I say crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
right
grilled.
after your sleeve breaks off because your
Yeah.
suit's so crispy.
Yeah. It's
And
like
if I'm
ice.
if I'm at a wedding and they're serving churros and I'm like, "What do you mean? Do I want to let them cool off and let some other people maybe get some hands in here and eat some?" No, I want them crispy.
Yeah. No, I'm eating the rest of these.
I'm eating them right now.
I'm eating them right now.
No one's even walking over. Why is it such a big deal? Just give me the churros.
Everyone is dancing.
Like
Yes.
they're missing out. I'm not.
Churro time for Jamal. Padma also says that she has to dine and dash.
And they let her.
They let her. And it's fucked up. And I wonder, is that the way to do it? You tell them.
Confidence. Confidence.
Yeah, confidence.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for this shit.
I'm not going to pay for this.
I got another dinner to go to.
Meanwhile, Tom's in the back, and we just keep getting shots of Tom eating food. the entire
he's
episode.
eating by himself.
He's just quietly eating all their food to,
That was
te-
really
to
funny.
taste it.
That was really, really funny.
And I can't say 100%, but I am 99% certain he was much happier in that environment. And he made that choice because he did not want to have to dine with them again.
Yeah.
Didn't even interact with the contestants while he was like, "I'm gonna be back here the entire time," and then just kind of was like stood over them for a second,
Yeah.
and then was like eating my little bite of this. He just like didn't want to be. Yeah, I think he just like didn't want to hang out with Ted Allen again. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come to dinner again. I'll meet you at Cot and the April again." And he's like, "Who else coming?" And Padma's like, "Oh, it's me, and it's that guy
Jeffrey
who's, like,
Zakarian,
Ted
Allen.
Allen. I'm busy. I have to go in the kitchen and watch them.
I want to be in the back to really try and study up on what they're doing wrong, so I have something for judge's table. That's what I'll be doing. He's just back there eating. He's stuffing his face while they're running around. He literally is in one shot just taking a spoon into their food on the stove and eating it, and then walking away.
He's like, "That looks good. Is that ready yet? Can I eat that? No. Whose order is that? That Padma? I'm eating that. You should eat that, by the way.
She's not
She told me.
She's not even going to be here. She's leaving. She's got.
She told me I could have hers.
Yeah,
So
she
I'll
said
eat
just
it.
give me her. She doesn't want this anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat it over here too. You guys
Yeah.
don't you don't need to.
Don't
talk.
worry about me. Don't worry about me. I love how Steven is talking too much to the customers again about wine. And then Dale gets upset about that. He's not being straightforward though. Dale is just being passive aggressive, like, maybe you're doing over service.
Yeah. But we don't get a reaction from Steven, which is a little
No.
disappointing.
But
which I mean, I
that-
think that's because Bryan Cranston maybe came out of character, and so they were like, "Ugh, we gotta cut this."
Yeah. We're like, hey, you're supposed to give us a Steven reaction. You're supposed to
Yeah,
yell
he was
back.
like, "I'm the one who knocks," and they're like, "Oh, cut! No, that's the other thing."
Yeah.
Can we? So Trey in the episode says, "I can make bread pudding in my sleep,"
And he did.
and then, but then at the end, they were like, "You sucked at making bread pudding," and he was like, "I never said I was good at it."
Yeah.
I said that I could do it.
And this is very tricky because he is correct. He never said he was good at it. He only
He just said he could make it in
his
his sleep.
He said he could do it.
And it was very simple and plain bread pudding, and that's why he could make it in his sleep, because it's so simple.
Yeah.
And CJ, let's just get into this. Let's just skip right to judge's table because I'm fired up because CJ, He didn't watch Trey's back. And, I think CJ should have gone home, especially if you take into account how many points CJ has compared to Trey at this point. What did CJ do this episode?
Lobster salad that was too salty.
Lobster salad.
Get
Too
him
much
out of
going
here.
on.
He's the one who messed up on both restaurant wars.
Yeah.
Trey executed last time.
I agree. I think the issue was Trey is the executive chef, and they really hated that salmon that he made. Like, I thought Ted was going to attack someone.
Paired cheese with fish.
I also want to know how bad this actually was, because we only hear from DiVincenzo, whatever, and Ted Allen, who hate it. We don't hear what Padma thinks about it, which is odd, because if it was that bad, they would all pile onto it. But I feel like either they cut it, or like the other ones didn't really care that much. But he was like, he said it's like a car crash in Times Square. Which you have to say Times Square means he says that it's a lot of civilian casualties. Is what he's saying.
How did you get your car in there? Because it's only for pedestrians.
Yeah,
so
why would you say car crash
the
in Times Square? Unless
Yeah.
you're talking about loss of civilian life.
This is very funny for Brian, so let's keep going.
He just said that this salmon dish is so bad, it is compared to.
We got it.
Yeah, Pad was like, it's not that bad. It's bad, but like,
it's not that bad. Take it easy. Yeah, I mean, I wonder sometimes if it's like the dish that they got wasn't great, because like they talk about a lot of people or some of them liked the lamb, and like Tom didn't like the lamb. He thought like the lamb was like either undercooked or something like that. So I mean, there's a preference to it, but I also wonder if it's like the certain dish that people got maybe were like over seasoned or something like that.
Yeah,
possibly.
We also got another one of my favorite things that the judges say is they say things like, "Hey, it's already dead. Don't kill it again." We got one of those things, which I think is always great.
Thank you. What's your name? Jeffrey Zakarian.
It's like the monkfish is already. Also, like Casey agreed that she overcooked the monkfish. Why didn't she just? Did she overcook all of them?
And if you knew that you're overcooking them, why not stop overcooking them?
Yeah, you can just do the next one not as much.
Is it maybe just like a save face kind of thing when you're on the like when the judges are like talking to you, you just are like, I'm just gonna agree with them a lot, and it makes me feel like I'm smart.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Tom is mad at judges table. I don't know if we want to keep this part in, but I think it's funny. Tom is mad at Judge Taylor because he can still taste the bad dishes on his Flavor Saver mustache. You guys see that thing?
I didn't clock it.
I didn't clock it either.
But you're saying it is specifically a Flavor Saver brand mustache?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's one of those things. I just thought a mustache was called a Flavor Saver, but maybe it's one of those like Xerox printer things. Flavor Saver is a brand of mustache, but I just associate mustache with Flavor Saver, like Band-Aid instead of like bandage.
Oh, I thought it was the under part underneath your lip was the specific Flavor Saver part.
Under your lip is Soul Patch.
Oh, you're right. Wait, hey, I'm new to the mustache game.
This episode's wild.
Hey, Trey got eliminated. And let's just talk about this real quick. Based on the standings, Trey has the more points than people who even after winning this episode, he still has more points than them.
Trey could have won this if he got through this.
Yes, but here's my issue. Well, it's not even an issue. It's just a sign of the times. This is a point in time where a show had no problem kicking off a black contestant who was actually good because they didn't perform. Whereas now we've seen the show and they're kind of give like a black contestant too many chances to mess up. You know, like maybe over and over again and the same way to mess up. You know, like not delivering food when it's time to deliver food.
Yeah, times they are changing.
Mm-hmm. And we'll leave it to our listeners.
And is it for the better?
Or they feel about it.
Yeah, listeners, open-ended question.
Yeah, open-ended question. Leave us a review.
Because
Tell us if it's for the better.
I'm
or
not
worse.
going to answer the question.
Brian has
Oh,
an
yeah.
opinion about it.
Me
He's already
not.
texted it to us all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trey goes homeless. Listen.
Trey, please pack your knives and go.
I knew taking the position of executive chef, I was putting my neck kind of on the cutting block. I told CJ if we didn't succeed that I probably would be going home.
It's like I'm headed to the gym early. Executive chef, head of the ship.
Trey was definitely one of the best chefs in the house. Always thought that Trey would definitely be here until the end.
Trey is eliminated, and it sucks. It's just sad to see him go, and he took it as a man.
Sorry.
Y'all enjoy yourself. They could have pegged CJ for being in low production and not of much help, but if an executive chef can't lead a team to success, then that executive chef is a flop. I feel like this show is really giving me the knowledge to open my own restaurant and be very successful. Guarantee when I create new menus and I execute more food, I won't make these same mistakes.
So there's no more black people in the show, and we have what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more weeks of this show. I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. There's no more bald people in the show. I'll figure out a way to keep myself invested in the show, but as soon as black people are left off any show, I lose 50% of my investment. That's why when I was watching Black Panthers, I was like, I hope not too many people die in this movie, because my investment's gonna go down.
Yeah, you're interested.
Because if the English Jim from the English version of The Office is the only guy left alive at the end of this movie, I'm not going to be very invested in the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Bilbo Baggins.
Baggins.
Yes. Trey shouldn't have gone home, right?
I don't think so.
And
I think
if
he
he
deserved to go
survived
home
this
week, but he shouldn't have gone home. I think he had a horrible week, but
but
his track record is better.
But what did everyone else do? He made 2 dishes. One of them, he made 3 dishes. He did the most work. What did CJ do? He made one bad thing and then didn't do anything else.
CJ might get yelled at next week for playing it safe, but like this week, if Trey did 3 dishes, 2 of them sucked, and he was responsible for the rest of the dishes as being executive chef. So he deserved. He earned his ticket home. Unfortunately,
I disagree.
I think if you look at everyone that's left, let's say we don't know who wins. I would say that Trey and Hung were the people that I would be like, one of those is going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Trey has been so consistent the whole time that since there was one other person that was kind of messed up too, why wouldn't they give him a chance? Because they're like, Trey is probably the best person here, or tied with the best person here.
They don't do track
CJ
record.
has 15 points. Casey has 11.5 points. She should have been eliminated. She's the one who hasn't even been performing consistently. Trey, let's look at Trey. Trey won the elimination in the first episode, won the elimination in week 6, week 7, won the quick fire in week 4 and 5, and number 2.
Top Chef doesn't do track record though. They don't look at track records. It's all, what have you done for me lately? Sucks.
It's brutal.
Okay, well, let's move on to a new segment for a closing bit called A Wife's Tale. This is where one of us goes and grabs our wife, and they come tell us a story. So go ahead, you guys.
Not doing that.
Yeah, this episode's already too long.
I can tell you a tale about my wife.
Okay.
Okay, that works still.
Give me a topic. I'll do it Ask Cat style. Sorry.
Okay.
Rat scrap style.
Got copyright. So Rain there.
Rain. So Carrie has this really...
And I'm sorry, that's all the time we have. So tune in next week when we talk about season 3, episode 12. No, go ahead, Brian.
It's not a story. I was going to say she has a cute raincoat that's got a duck on it.
Is that it?
Oh, that's nice.
That's it.
All right. Cute raincoat with duck on it. Thank you, Brian, for the segment called A Wife's Tale. So for real, next time we'll see you. Until next time, get back on the edge and go. Brian's got a lot of